Hi, it's Jazdia. It is snowing. We got a little bit of snow. I don't know if it'll stick. I'm live on TikTok right now when videos come on that are important to what's going on and to all of us working together to change these grids. I'll be popping on to TikTok. And so, hi, I'm here, I'm alive. Me being missing was part of it. I'm sure all of you that I just got chills all over me. I feel like I'm giving some confirmations to a lot of you that are on this journey with us. You're just not exactly understanding how it's all happening, but you're witnessing it, you're making connections to it because it's what time it is. And you're in the flow and you're hued in. Everybody that has certain information, especially ancient knowledge, there's a reason you have it. And for all of us that, because of consciousness and how consciousness works and how all of us work together, it's just that on the higher ends, when you embody the wisdom and you're given the abilities to break keys, and then you're given the ability to break patterns, and then you're given the ability to break scenes, then you're given the ability to change the scene, then you're given the ability to change the scenes all over the world, connect them all together, put them into one timeline. Then you're given the ability to write the timelines. But the only way that you'd be able to write the timelines is if you're the ones that rebirth all the planets and the planetary systems to begin with. Because it's Toltec ancient. It's not tech. The tech is in your body. I've been screaming over here since this all. My journey proves every single bit of this. When you hear me come over here and start talking about what's happened with me, what didn't happen in my head, if it did, I'll tell you. If everything else, we walked it because we were the interface. If you really think about it, come on now. Now this stuff's coming out with BIT. BIT is on a stem cell system. Well, that makes a lot of sense because a lot of us that had this knowledge had surgeries and things in our stem cells. A lot of us, even myself and my other AB negative that broke the system, because we did, our children's blood cords and umbilical cords had to be frozen for this. There was a point in all of this that all that data was taken, all the names were changed, and all the information was released across the entire world. And we aren't dealing with just nothing. You're dealing with the base roots of the body functions, how they all work together on what you'd call Earth. And then the energies that all creates in bands that flow off of it like waves. Well, you know how you control the waves? Scorpio. This is Scorpio 2. This is the full moon that we just had. And this is the full moon that freaking blew my tabernacle freaking literally in May 2017. Because I didn't know any of this until I freaking shock activated and woke up. Now here's the difference that's what's happening now. Everybody's getting activated. You ain't got nowhere to hide. You ain't got no rock to go under. There ain't no beverage that's going to make it go away. It's going to make it worse. The more that you try to hide from it, the more that you're going to go through living hell. And if you do, that's okay. Because we had to in order to get it. You've got 7 years to get it. We're all working together. But everybody needs to realize, and what I'm freaking just get so frustrated about is everyone thinks it's AI. Everyone thinks it's the Illuminati. Nobody is saying, oh my God, it's the team of fucking angels. It's on the ground that's been doing it, that was here to begin with, which is why you had a Lucifer in hell. But by the way, you know why Jesus got here? Because of what's happening now. And that there was one trapped in hell. How the hell would Jesus be able to even manifest? Like when you really understand what's been going on with the sedation levels, keeping everybody under. So what's happening is the true blood is in. It's activating everybody around the world. It's flushing through your system. You are now on a 7-year trajectory. That 7-year trajectory you want to complete as quickly as possible. However, you cannot complete the entire trajectory in less than 3 years. And I'm talking about ascended masters. Now, you're connected into ascended masters now. That's my point. This is a quantum leap. We've already leapt, grabbed it, anchored it, wrote a mirroring timeline with all the collective that's been cleaning timelines, cleaning curses, cleaning family lines, having to deal with these narcissists, having to deal with entertainment, having to deal, because we's getting everybody out. The ones in the deepest are helping us from the best they can behind the scenes, but everyone's coming up gradually, the entire frequency of the planet, because the cosmos energy has changed. That's why. The cosmos energy has changed. So all the planets are operating in our higher frequency subset. Well, in order to do that, you have to embody it in a higher frequency subset. Your body has to clear, it has to flush, the mucus has to come out, your glands have to expand, because the true frequency is the speech. It's prophetic word. You're literally creating it into existence live. And it is lining up like that over here. This is why I've been slow to come back, because it's all been changing, and these are all things that all of us have witnessed in our journeys, but now it's controlled because it's anchored into the collective, and everyone is being flushed into a higher energetic body template that matches these higher timelines. You can't jump on a higher timeline with no harness if your body can't hold it. Because you're having to do it by yourself. On the flip side, what's happening is all of the harvest energy that's coming through the system that we thought just was given, and it's just how it works, is no longer connected into the collective, so it's no longer pumping. So all the corporations and that's why it's all uncoiling. No matter how it's showing up, no matter what character's showing up to do it, every single move that's being made in the political sector is dealing with what I'm talking about right now. Because it's a mess. But when you understand universal law, then you understand how the masonry works. Because masonry is not bad. Masonry ain't bad. When you come down to earth and you're connected into your ancestors and you rebirth and you have connections to the living people that were part of the feminine line that were here before, the masonry is the reason it was founded and created was because it was sedation levels, and it was linked to the mummies and the burials, and it's literally how us as a human race created earth. It didn't just happen. What we've learned throughout this whole thing is that our alchemy and our abilities to create things is how everything's being done. Everything. And it blew our mind when we was walking through it. Try being one of us. Because as it was happening with us, we were like, this can't be. We're following our intuition. We're so tuned in with source. We were so tuned in with source. But everything, if you're watching us, everything that we did looked like it went backwards. And it felt backwards. And it felt weird. Because you're uncoiling from it. And from everybody looking out, we were doing everything backwards or in a different way. But we were mirroring it from a higher dimension that didn't require sacrifices in order to sustain. So here's the good news. And then I'm going to end this. Okay. I'm going to be coming on here starting next week, and this is what my team and I are working on, and this is 2 years of codes that I've been anchoring all of this for the past 2 years, from 2023, 2024. When you understand the calendar cycle, and you understand how the human race makes energetics in a bubble, and then you understand the transmutation process in the higher houses of how to create with that energy in order to create changes. then that's how, I'm sorry, someone's talking now in the background. June is a bunch of number codes. It's like a moving puzzle. Y'all remember those things that you had as a child that had the tiles and it had numbers in it, and it looked like tic-tac-toe, and then you'd have to line up the numbers and you move the numbers and you'd move this box here, kind of like a one-sided Rubik's Cube. Well, June is a one-sided Rubik's Cube. So basically everything starts shifting around in June. This is why they wanted you to take all your vacations in June or July. Because the true crap, now we know, from a human harvesting system cycle of energy, June is when all the pieces are getting moved around. So on a calendar from 2023 and 2024, I have been documenting these numbers. One starts on May 19th and goes for a little bit, and then it stops, and then it backs out, and another one starts from another year set. I didn't really understand completely what I was capturing until I got up here in the mountains and did this final flush and clearing, because now we're dealing with Greek and Vatican spells. They're all falling. They've been falling. The problem is the human race needs them so bad in order to survive that it was recreating in a false way. But the spell's been falling the whole time. And if you take away the consciousness too much, then people like literally float in space. So it's had to be planned out, and it's Toltec information, and it's mine, because it's how the astronomy works. We've been in a time machine, or you're in your own time machine, but the whole world has been in a time machine being recreated back the ancient ways. And all of us that would be considered your ascended masters down here that knew and were planted and hidden here for this have been on top of it the whole time. We still are. Everything has to play out because people got to make their own decision. That's how important it is about your decision and what you're focusing on. So starting next week on Sunday, I'll be going live on YouTube, and I'll come back on here with the schedule because I don't have times yet. So it'll be captured there, but I'll be going, it's in 8 weeks. And what we're going to do is each week, I'm going to teach y'all more and more of the subsets of the number codes and the ciphers. Now, this is massive. When you start undoing 33 masonry phonetics, it might start snowing. Because it's basically the base root of the Babylonian spell. But it even breaks the tech grids, because there's higher ones that mirror. So I'm going to be teaching y'all this stuff. But we got it, and you need to, but you're also going to be tested as if, are you going to be abusing it? Are you going to go scry the whole world and get yourself in a mess? Or are you going to go listen to your intuition and go do the words that are coming to you naturally? Because this will break you out of any construct. So on Sunday, I'll be coming on and just saying, hey, this is the energy for the week. This is what's going on, and kind of leading y'all into it. That'll be live on YouTube. On Monday, because it's the moon day, this is why I'm delivering this message today, because basically there is no time, so we've kind of already started. And if you're live on this live, then you're on the train. Monday is Moon Day and Body Code Day. So what I'll be doing each week is then describing it in your body. Basically opening up the codes and describing to you with the stars about how these 33 codes go into body templates. And on Monday, we'll be opening up space, because it's how the planets work in a week. This is how you work things through to creation using cosmic energy. Then Wednesday is Mind Day. That's Mercury Day. So on Wednesday, then we'll do the cool thing that y'all want to do. We'll do the numbers, and I'll show you phonetics, and I'll show you what the 33 is. Then on and those two, on Monday and Wednesday, we'll be live here on TikTok. So make sure starting next week, like, ring a bell. If you're on it, it'll just be more powerful, but I'll be backing them up on YouTube as videos. So I'll be live YouTube on Sunday. On Monday, I'll be on here live doing body codes. Wednesday, we're going to break down the codes. Those will be backed up to YouTube on video. And then on Saturday nights, live on YouTube, we're going to lead y'all through a meditation, basically. But it's called The Wash. And if you understand how Las Vegas works, and if you when you really start understanding how to clean your energy in order to go into the grids, in order to match, in order to make stuff, because there's a bunch of physics that's involved because of the way the ground is done. And when you're driving, if you've ever drove into Las Vegas, you go through these little gullies around it, and they all have a different wash on them. Well, that's because whenever the mob or whoever's driving into Vegas and they understand the sedation layers because they understood how they were built, as they're going through those washes, they're basically honing in on the target, and the target is Vegas in the end of the desert, and that wash around it is basically half of the Burning Man set. So when you're driving and you understand and you go through each wash, what they're doing is clearing their energy to go into Vegas to do something. So energetically, we're going to show up to do a live. We have a walkthrough template that we're going to walk y'all through, and we're perfecting this because we have some other offerings and services that we're going to utilize now that we know this system works. We know this system works 100%. Not only that, when you get tuned into the astronomy, you're changing everything around you. We're doing it in groups. We've already been doing it. This is how we changed everything. But now we're starting to open the doors and allow more people to come in because we had to really guard some of this information to be able to wrangle it in the end, to make sure we had the field to work with, because we used it in order to capture the fields back. So we'll have that wash on Saturday nights. It'll also be on YouTube. So these are also going to be great if y'all know people that are getting sick, but they aren't up, they're not spiritual. They don't know anything about their body, blah, 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 but they keep going back to the doctor and da-da-da. You'll be able to forward these to them and let them get an energetic wash because it'll be on YouTube. But if you're live on it, we're going to do this 8 weeks. And so the first week is the 33 codes. Second week is 44 codes. Then I believe it's teaching y'all the base root of 1 through 9 and the energies and how that moves, because it's not just quantity. This is real simple. It's simple. It's not hard. You just have to get into that higher mind pattern, because your body's breaking it down anyway, and then your mind just can't line it up, which has kept it separate in a mimic world. I think by week 5 or 4, and we're having to do it slow and week by week, as these numbers are changing in June, to basically set us into the higher timeline we created. Okay? So Princess Chastity at YouTube is where I'm at over there. If you haven't followed, go follow there. That's where all this is going to get backed up. Turn your bell on for me, and I'm working through my process of even following all my guidance in order to set this up, because we're turning on a big old washing machine, and it ain't coming to ton. The washing machine's coming through our etheric fields and making basically the 44D the new masonry, because it's the first time that anything's been built basically completely in a moon mansion. Kinda. Is how you can perceive it over the next 3 or 4 years, for sure, depending on how much we end up changing when I unlock everybody. Love y'all.